Good afternoon and welcome to Blade Wise Volume 6. We're here on the front porch of the Boogerwood Stabbing Cabin. Population nobody right now, but we're here. And Volume 6 is really appropriate because we've got the old number 6 Bowie right here. I made this for a gentleman named Tom Payne. He had contacted me wanting a Bowie knife that fit Russell Johnson's description of what a Bowie knife ought to be. Arkansas historian Russell T. Johnson once described a Bowie knife as being long enough to be a sword, sharp enough to use as a razor, wide enough to use as a paddle, and heavy enough to use as a hatchet. Now, I don't really know how accurate that description would have been to the early Bowie knives. The James Black made Bowie knives was what he was talking about. None of the knives that I've seen that are possibly attributed to Black match any of those dimensions. But this thing does. So, and I call it the number 6 Bowie because it's a perfect thing for working up a number 6 on somebody. And if you don't know what a number 6 is, you need to reference Blazing Saddles. We don't condone the activities that happened at the number 6 dance, but anyway, that would be good for this. As far as looking at those list of criteria, long enough to use as a sword, yes. There are several Roman gladius examples that I've seen that look about this size or perhaps just a little bit larger. I wouldn't feel underarmed going after somebody that had something like that. Sharp enough to use as a razor, yes. That is a very keen edge on that thing. And the backside, I've sharpened it just file sharp, but it's still a back cutting mother. So yeah, it meets that criteria. Wide enough to use as a paddle, don't really know how wide that would have to be, but I would definitely say that if Ned Beatty would have had one of these in deliverance, he'd probably done better than he would have just having a regular canoe paddle. And heavy enough to use as a hatchet. If you look at the spine of that, that's a good full 1/4, possibly 9/32. It's real close to 5/16 of an inch thick, and it tips the scales at a little over 2.7 pounds. So I'd have to say mission accomplished. To give you an idea, it's a 15 1/4 inch blade, and if you'd come here for a second, Harley, I want to show you the size of this thing. It's really hard to, as far as comparison. This is a standard size 9-year-old child. Look at this. I mean, it's a big Bowie by any and all respect, and it weighs about as much as a leggy strap to. You can go sit down now. There it is next to a Buck Model 105, I believe. Yeah, 105. It is definitely not lacking for nothing as far as the size of the kind of Bowie that he was wanting. And since that he wanted kind of a Civil War, Texas Revolution of Independence era looking knife, I had to take certain special steps to ensure that would come about. If you were to find a real Bowie this size, this well made from the Texas Revolution of Independence era, from the Civil War era, you'd pay a bare minimum $3,000 to $5,000 for it. Well, this it's about a $400 Bowie, and you can take it out and beat around the brush with it. As a matter of fact, he wanted it as a camp knife. The blade is 5160 steel. It was a leaf spring. It started out life as a leaf spring. This guard will forever remain fresh in my mind. Every time I look to shave in the mirror, that's the one I had the vice grip failure on, and it flew up and hit me in the nose while that I was forging it. The handle is American hickory that has been antiqued. It is peened on the end in the pommel. That handle's not going anywhere. It's the way, and it was made largely the way that they made knives back in the 19th century. I didn't use a lot of machinery on this, almost none. As a matter of fact, my belt grinder was broke down throughout most of the process. The only thing that I used power tools on was I drilled the hole for the handle with a hand drill instead of a bracing bit. Other than that, it's the way that your granddaddy made them. And the sheath is American horsehide. It is sewed together with waxed hemp thread, and I didn't use leather dye to dye the sheath. I actually used rusted iron, which is the same way that they dyed iron or dyed leather during the Civil War. A lot of people ask me how I antique my blades, because you can't just use an old piece of steel. When you start forging it into a knife, it starts looking new again, as evidenced by the sharpening there. That's a proprietary thing. I don't tell people how I do it, because it is dangerous, and attempts at doing it, if you don't know what you're doing, can result in your death. So. Thought about naming it the That's What She Said Bowie at one time, because it inspired a lot of That's What She Said jokes. They go, man, that's the biggest thing I've ever seen, or or man, it hurt if you got stuck with that thing. Well, that's what she said. And then somebody said, man, that really looks 150 years old, and I knew we had to come up with another name for it. I hope that Tom and his brother Ted are really great people. I've really enjoyed working with them. Looking forward to doing many more projects with them. And I hope he enjoys using this knife as much as I'm enjoying making it. I'm going to go ahead and move on from that real quick to, like I mentioned, I have had an equipment failure here recently. I'm back up and running, but it did set me behind. If you're expecting a knife from me before Christmas, any of my customers out there, you're going to get it before Christmas if I've got to live in that shop up there between now and then. I'm going to do my dead level best. I wish I had a knife tree to go out here and pick those off of, but I don't, I'm a one-man show, and it takes a while sometimes, but as you can tell, and as he'll be able to tell when he gets it in his hand, it's more than well than worth the wait. If you're looking for last-minute gift ideas for somebody for Christmas, it is right now November the 17th. There is no way in the world that I could start on a project for you and have it done and in your hand by Christmas if you're thinking of doing a new order. However, as far as I can do up some leather work for you for somebody who loves pistol holster or whatever they might be wanting. We do a lot of survival bracelets. I just made me one in Coyote last night. And then another thing that I've been doing, this is not an entirely original idea, is these little survival grenades, because they look kind of like a pineapple grenade. In here is 2 bluegill hooks, 2 pieces of split shot, 15 feet of spider wire, and some jute twine for fire tender. Plus you got about a little over 12 feet of cordage there. So I mean, they're just nice little stocking stuffers, and we sell those for $10 a piece, $12 for the double thick survival bracelets, and the monkey's fist like that I introduced you to in the impact weapon section of the video. Also want to remind you to go to our Facebook page, Booger Woods Forge on Facebook, and click like and subscribe to us, because we have a contest just about every month, and we've been making winners out of people. We got I gave away $25 gift certificates the last time toward the purchase of a new knife and a free monkey's fist. This month's contest in the month of November, just go to Facebook and check it out, because if you watch this after this month, it'll be dated information for you. But go to there and check us out, click like, get your friends to liking us. As always, it's a pleasure to work with everybody that I work with.